Mia, this is unbelievable. I don't know that you would do such a horrible thing. I'm really surprised.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sure what you're referring to. What's the matter all of a sudden? Did I unintentionally do something to upset you? Did I unknowingly offend you?
Don't play dumb with me, you wicked woman. I can't fathom that you've betrayed my son and his family. I only agreed to let you marry my beloved son Samuel because you're carrying his child. But now, I've realized what a huge mistake I've made. You must get a divorce immediately.
What on earth are you saying? I don't understand a word you say. Please calm down and explain the situation. I'm completely clueless about what's going on, and I'm finding it difficult to comprehend everything. What did I do to make you this angry?
I won't go easy on you just because you're in your final month of pregnancy. I already spoke to Samuel about the divorce, so there's no need for you to talk to him. I want the two of you to finalize a divorce today. Once all the paperwork is completed, I never want to see you again.
Hold on. Can you please explain what's happening? I genuinely don't understand what I did wrong.
There's nothing more to say. I don't even want to be having this conversation right now. You know very well the harm you've caused to my innocent son. I'll never forgive you. So, don't bother apologizing.
Are you absolutely sure there hasn't been a misunderstanding? I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. Why are you suddenly forcing me to get a divorce? It makes no sense. Samuel, I just gave birth to our baby.
Well, good for you. I'm glad we finalized our divorce before the baby arrived. Dealing with custody and legal matters would have been a hassle. Just so you know, I won't be providing any child support. Don't bother asking for money.
How can you say that? Can we please meet and talk face to face? I didn't cheat on you. Stop being so cruel. Giving birth alone was incredibly difficult for me. You accused me of infidelity without giving me a chance to explain. I can't believe you divorced me without even discussing it. How could you treat me this way? I was your wife.
I don't want to hear your excuses. You signed the divorce papers, which means you admitted to cheating.
That's not it. I signed the papers out of fear. I'm afraid that you might harm our unborn baby. I believe that getting a divorce was the only way to ensure a healthy birth. I didn't cheat on you. Let me prove it. We can get a DNA test. I promise you, the child is yours.
I don't want to go through the hassle of a DNA test. I'm certain you're guilty.
How can you say that? This is very important for both of us. We ended our marriage due to this stupid misunderstanding. Why won't you let me prove my innocence?
Because I know you're guilty. That's all. I'm relieved that we're divorced. I can never trust you again. Raising a child who isn't mine would always remind me of your betrayal. It's annoying that the child will be listed as mine on official records. Don't expect me to pay any child support. You've caused me a lot of emotional distress.
Why did things have to end up like this? Why don't you listen to what I say?
I've told you multiple times, it's because you cheated on me. This is all your fault, and I take no responsibility.
I want to know how you reached that conclusion. Why did you and your mother accuse me without explaining? Now that I've agreed to the divorce, at least give me the closure. I want to understand what I did wrong. We can't just end things like this.
What's there to explain? My mother witnessed you cheating.
What exactly did she see? Please tell me the details.
She informed me that she saw a man by the front door of our apartment around 5 p.m. I hadn't come home from work at that time, so why was a man there?
Oh, you mean that man?
So you admit it, huh?
No, I think there's a misunderstanding. I believe she saw my brother-in-law.
Are you suggesting that my mother was mistaken? I'm disappointed in you. Just admit to what you did.
Your mother must have seen Ben, Violet's husband. Remember, I told you my sister was coming over for dinner that day. Ben came to pick her up at around 5 p.m.
Whatever. It sounds like you're making up excuses on the spot. I don't need to hear your lies. You probably should have tried to come up with a better lie.
I'm not lying. You can confirm with them directly if you want. They'll explain that it's all a misunderstanding.
You're so annoying. I'm tired of your excuses. Think about the wrongdoing you committed instead of trying to convince me. I don't want to talk to a cheater like you anymore.
What? You won't give me a chance to prove my innocence.
My mother saw you cheating and she's never been wrong. I trust everything she says.
Pathetic. You choose your mother over me? Fine. I'm tired of trying to prove my innocence. I give up, but promise me one thing.
What is it?
Promise me that you'll never contact me or our child again, no matter what happens.
Why would I want to communicate with you both? A cheating woman and a child who isn't mine. I'm more than happy to cut ties.
Alright, so that's a promise. We're complete strangers from this point on.
Yeah, whatever. That's what I wanted anyway. Goodbye, forever. Hey, Mia. It's been a long time, huh? It's been 3 years since we last had a conversation. How have you and our child been lately?
I'm sorry, but who are you?
You should be grateful that I'm reaching out after all this time.
I'm not sure who you're referring to. Maybe you have the wrong number.
You've got to be kidding me. It's Samuel. Samuel Jackson. Don't you remember your husband?
I believe there might be a misunderstanding. We finalized our divorce 3 years ago. So, you're no longer my husband. You're my ex-husband.
Come on. Why are you so petty? Those details don't really matter.
It's rather unpleasant to even entertain the thought of you still being my husband. Please, don't repeat the same mistake.
Are you really certain that you want to speak to me in this manner? I'm considering allowing you the opportunity to reconcile with me.
I'm sorry, but I have no desire to reconcile with you whatsoever. I no longer have any feelings for you.
Stop trying to act strong. I know deep down you still have feelings for me. Listen, Mia, my mother saw you walking around with our child the other day. And she mentioned that the child bears a striking resemblance to me when I was young. Apparently, we both share the same beautiful blue eyes and a wonderful smile. Upon hearing that, I realized that perhaps the child you gave birth to is indeed mine.
So what? Why have you chosen to contact me? What happened to our agreement?
Oh, and there's one more thing. Do you remember how we thought that you cheated on me with your brother-in-law?
I thought I clarified that wasn't what happened. That was merely an assumption made by you and your mother.
Just listen to me. After our divorce, he ended up getting hired at my workplace as my manager. Quite the coincidence, right? At the time, I was furious. I saw it as the perfect chance for revenge over the end of our marriage. I confronted him, trying to make him confess to stealing you away from me. But then he explained it was all a misunderstanding, and I finally realized you never actually cheated on me. He clarified that he was at our place to pick up your sister. That's when I finally understood you were innocent.
Of course I was innocent. Perhaps things would have been different if all this had happened 3 years ago. I thought I told you so many times that I wasn't cheating on you. But none of you listened to a word I say.
Well, that's all in the past now. Don't worry about it. I informed my mother about everything and she agreed to forgive me. I share the same sentiment as my mother, which is why I reached out to you. I genuinely have no reservations about remarrying you at this point.
You two must be joking. After all the way you treated me, you dare to ask me to remarry? Are you serious?
I assure you, I am not joking. You played a part in creating this confusing situation as well, didn't you? I'm telling you that I forgive you and we can reconcile. Let's go and introduce our precious child to my mother. You must be thrilled that she's forgiving you. I'm ecstatic that our family is finally coming back together.
Why did your mother have to forgive me? What nonsense is that? It should be her asking for my forgiveness. Just talking to you infuriates me.
What's wrong with you? You should be grateful.
Why on earth would I be grateful? I couldn't care if she forgives me or not. She ruined my life for no reason and didn't even give me a chance to explain myself.
What, you're still angry about this? Come on. Don't be such a child.
I'm furious with you too. You didn't even give me an opportunity to hear your mother out and abandon me completely.
Whoa, easy there. It was your fault for creating such a confusing situation in the first place.
What confusing situation? She saw a man in front of the apartment and immediately jumped to the conclusion that I was having an affair. How ridiculous is that? By the way, your mother knew who he was. They had met before.
What? They knew each other?
Of course they did. They sat at the same table during our wedding reception. There are several pictures of them together. And even if she didn't recognize him, it's unreasonable to assume I was cheating just because he was at our front door. He could have been the mailman for all she knew. And you, acting like a normal person, wouldn't have caused such a problem. How could you get a divorce without any proof? You divorced me solely because your mother thought she saw something. Both of you are completely irrational. You should have listened to me 3 years ago. Perhaps things would be different now.
What's gotten into you? How can you talk to me like this when I'm offering to remarry you? You should be thanking me and crying with happiness. Do you genuinely want to continue your miserable life as a struggling single mother?
Who did you refer to as a struggling single mother?
You, of course. You are single, lonely, and financially struggling. I imagine our child must be suffering, surviving on whatever meager funds you managed to gather.
Well, I suppose you didn't know about it yet. If you don't have all the facts, don't jump to conclusions like your mother.
Stop trying to put up a strong front and listen to what my mother and I are telling you. We can meet later today and marry as soon as possible. Actually, my mother and I will come pick you up right now. Make sure you have everything prepared so that we can move back in together.
Mia, what's the matter with you? Who is that man? Don't tell me you're repeating your past mistakes.
What past mistake? You're the mistaken one.
Well, it's all in the past now.
It seems you've come all the way here.
Of course we did. We got here as fast as possible. I can't wait to see my adorable grandchild. By the way, who is that man you greeted outside your house?
That was my current husband.
What did you just say? Husband? What a ridiculous joke. Okay, stop joking around and tell me the truth.
I'm not joking. We got married a year ago.
You got married again?
That's right. What is the matter with that? Oh, and one more thing. We're expecting a baby.
This is unbelievable. How could you do such a thing? It seems you haven't changed at all. How about you give us custody of my grandchild and I'll leave you alone? Frankly, I don't care about you. Please, continue living your miserable life with that random guy. All I want is to take back Samuel's adorable child. We will raise a child ourselves.
Samuel agreed to sever all ties with me and the baby. The baby's no longer his child.
What? That was just a mistake. It doesn't count.
By the way, my husband legally adopted my son as well. He is the father now. It happened when we got married.
What are you talking about? Is that even possible?
Of course it's possible. The child is under our care now. You should give up your dream of raising Samuel's child. He's no longer your grandchild, and neither of you has any right to even visit him.
Your current husband adopted my grandchild? How could you do such a thing without telling me?
After our divorce, I heard many stories about Samuel from my brother-in-law, who currently works with him at the same company. I learned that Samuel has been diagnosed with male infertility. He can't have children of his own anymore, right? I'm guessing that's why you've come to visit me today? You guys want to take back his only chance at a child, right?
If you know what's going on, then just give me my grandchild. Stop making things so difficult for us.
What nonsense is that? Never. He's my child. I was the one who raised him all by myself.
You know, it's your responsibility to listen to your husband's mother. I'm asking you to give us the child.
You're not my mother-in-law anymore. Remember? You forced us to get a divorce 3 years ago.
That happened so long ago. Who cares? I'm willing to forget it and forgive you.
You sure have a lot of nerve. I'm not seeking your forgiveness because I didn't do anything wrong in the first place. Now, please leave. I don't want to hear anything from the two of you. If you two keep bothering me, I'll have to call the police immediately.
But please, what did we do?
How come you still don't get it? Fine, let me explain it one last time. I'm no longer married to Samuel. we divorced 3 years ago. I married my current husband last year, and he legally adopted my child. So we are the rightful parents. Samuel is no longer a father to our child. You're trying to kidnap my child. And that's why I'm going to call the police.
I don't care. Your current husband has no blood relation to my grandchild.
That doesn't matter anymore. Unlike you, he genuinely cares about me and my child and treats us like a real family. If you even try to take our child, I'll call the police immediately. Now please, leave and never come back.
How could you do this to us? I just want my adorable grandchild back.
Okay, that's it. I'm reporting you to the police.
Don't call the police. I'll leave right away. So please, don't take that step.
Can you please take a moment to think about it? Is there any chance for us to reconcile? I truly believe we're a great match. My mother has been really upset since yesterday's incident, and I don't know what to do. Out of the blue, my father even started talking about getting a divorce. Don't you feel for my mom? She's been through a lot lately. I think if we remarried, I could bring happiness back into her life. We could find a new house and raise our child with her. I'm sure it would make her genuinely happy. And if she's happy, I don't think my parents will go through with a divorce. Everyone would be content if we got back together. It's a great idea, don't you think? I can't wait to see you again.
Oh, please, shut up.
What did you just say?
Haven't you heard anything from your mother?
What about?
I'm currently expecting a child with my new husband.
Seriously? You're pregnant again?
Oh, and the reason your parents are considering divorce has absolutely nothing to do with me.
Really? How do you know?
I received a phone call from your father this morning. He apologized for everything that has transpired between me and your family. He told me to tell you this message. If you continue to bother me in the future.
What is it? Why are you making it sound so significant?
Your mother has been having an affair for quite some time.
That can't be true. Stop accusing my mother.
I wonder why she was so insistent that I was cheating on you 3 years ago. Perhaps it's because she had experience in infidelity and was projecting her suspicions onto me. That's why you shouldn't believe everything your mommy said.
You're lying, right? You're just saying this to make me feel terrible, right? Please tell me my mother wouldn't do such a thing.
Oh, and one more thing. Your father generously provided child support for 2 whole years. He felt a sense of responsibility as it was your child too, after all.
I can't believe he would do that behind my back.
He made monthly payments until I got married and informed him that we could handle it ourselves. He's truly a kind and considerate person, unlike the rest of your family. He mentioned that all the money he paid would be subtracted from his share of his inheritance when he passed away.
No way! That's unfair!
Your parents aren't that rich to begin with, so it's likely you won't receive any inheritance when he passes away.
I was hoping to receive my share as well. It's not fair that I won't get anything.
Anyway, I don't think you'll have time to contact me in the near future. You'll have plenty of problems to deal with soon.
Please, I need your help.
By the way, did you forget the promise we made when we divorced?
What promise are you referring to?
You really don't remember what I said 3 years ago? I told you to never contact me or my child again, no matter what happens. And you agreed immediately. Does that sound familiar?
Maybe, but that was a long time ago.
Never contact me again. I never want to see your face, you loser.
Mia, Don't be like that. I need you.
Samuel's parents ended up divorcing shortly afterward. Once the divorce was finalized, Lucy had no choice but to leave the house. She attempted to marry one of the people she had been involved with, but it resulted in a major altercation. Currently, she's working 2 jobs to cover the rent and bills for her new apartment. Samuel's situation wasn't any better. He had always believed his mother was an affectionate and trustworthy person who could do no wrong. It took him some time to recover from the shock of discovering his mother's true nature. Eventually, he found himself in a heated argument with both of his parents and decided to completely cut ties with them. He moved to a modest apartment near his workplace. Unfortunately, the personal turmoil made it hard for him to focus at work, leading to repeated mistakes that ultimately led to his resignation from his position. Currently, he's barely getting by, working the night shift at a local gas station just to make ends meet.